Om Shri Tapovan Paramagurave Namaha. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om. Salutations to all. So first of all, Vishakha Ben and Varshaji, congratulations to you both for continuing the study classes. How many years have happened now for these classes? 6, 7 years, 10 years. More than that. More than 20 years. So more than 20 years you have kept them inspired. Same way your classes also. 13, 14 years. So that itself is a good sadhana to do, to keep a group inspired and do text after text. And to all of you also who have been studying regularly, sincerely. If we study Vedanta, that is one sure sign of Bhagwan's grace. If you continue on the path, much more. And when we come to realize the truth, and that is absolute grace. So, this is the Jnana Marg, and that too on Jnana Marg to sustain the inspiration is not very easy. Shravan, Manan, Nidishyasana. So our topic is Nidishyasana. Some of you are doing Atma Bodh. So in the Atma Bodh, what does Bhagavan say? Ajnana Kalusham Jivam Jnanabhyasad Vinirmalam. The ignorance which is there in the mind of the individual, through that it is polluted. Ajnana Kalusham Jivam. Because of ignorance, one feels I am the Jiva. And what happens with that bhavana if I am the Jiva? I am a Jiva, so what? Thousands of beings are there, they are also feeling they are the Jiva. But what is the issue with that? So same Atma Bodh says, Rajju Sarpavadatmanam Jivam Jnatva Bhayam Vahet. If I think of myself as a Jiva, then I am limited, and when I feel limited, then I feel fear. I feel bound. I feel nowadays stress, tension, worries, anxiety, depression, all these. Why? Because Jivam Jnatva Bhayam Vahet. And is this a reality? Am I really the Jiva? Vedanta says no, question that you are not the Jiva at all. This is only the tool. Like we have a computer, we have a car, we have a phone, we have a house, we have so many things. Like that we have a body, we have a mind, we have an intellect. So it is only an equipment. But today we are identified with this. Rajju Sarpavad Atmanam Jivam Jnatva Bhayam Bhahet. Who am I? If we say I, what we refer to by that I? This body, mind, intellect, this Jiva. So, the real I don't know. So when I don't know who am I think I am the BMI, body, mind and intellect. And if I am the BMI, then BMI is limited. So I feel limited, incomplete. Now if I feel incomplete, then what do? I have vasanas to fulfill myself, to complete myself. Then I have desires, thoughts, action, results. And this cycle goes on. Vasana, desire, thought, result, action. And this, every desire does not get fulfilled in one life. So, many lives. So, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. This cycle goes on. And so, not knowing who am I is the root cause of all our problems. Rajju Sarpavadatmanam, just like this, rope is not seen as the rope, it was seen as a snake. Then one gets scared. Oh, the snake has bit me, now I'm going to die, and what will happen to my family, and poison is going up in my body, and that person imagines so much. Sometimes even the froth starts coming from the mouth and the person starts feeling breathless, and one may even feel like I'm going to actually die. But the truth is what? There was no snake there. If that person is made to become aware of that, there is no snake, what will this person feel? Liberated. That I'm not going to die. All that fear, insecurity, sorrow, everything goes. Same way, we feel somewhere incompleteness no matter what we achieve in this world. Always there is something more to be achieved. Always there is something which is missing. And we feel that if this happens, my life will become more happy. If my boss gives me promotion, if my mother-in-law treats me well, if my daughter-in-law treats me well, if my neighbor is appreciative, if some promotion I get, some lottery I win, whatever. This particular phone I get, that particular sari I get, this particular house I get. One goes on feeling like that. And it is not that one has not got. One has got all that also. Still there is something or the other missing. So Vedanta says there is nothing wrong in pursuing anything by itself. But if I don't know who am I, then no matter what I get, I will still feel incomplete. And so it is important to understand this, that the fundamental question of life is, who am I? Everything we do is only for that, who am I? So this ajnana kalusham jivam, when we don't know who am I, whole life, if you see the main purpose of life, why have we come here? What is the main purpose we have come here? Anybody? Not to this satsang I am saying, in this world. To exhaust some karma, to get liberation, to exhaust vasanas. Has everybody come here to get moksha? I am not saying here again, I am saying in the world. Is everybody's purpose to get moksha? No? What do they seek? Really is that state of permanent happiness only. In Vedanta we say, no? Main purpose of all our actions can be described in 2 points. What are these 2 points? हाँ, जोर से बोलो. सुख प्राप्ति एंड दुख निवृत्ति. बस उतना ही. वो तो ऐसे भी हो ही रहा है. सुख प्राप्ति एंड दुख निवृत्ति. Vedanta says something more. Sukha prapti, dukha nivritti to even happens for a animal, bird also. Human being, permanent happiness. So, param ananda prapti and atyantika dukha nivritti. This is very important. Remember, sukha prapti, dukha nivritti to happens to any jiva. You see even a dog on the road, sukha prapti is there or not? Wants to smell, eat something, sukha prapti. And dukha nivritti, if somebody is throwing a stone, the dog will not want to get hurt, so it will run. And if there is some pain, some wound, it will lick that wound and try to heal it. So dukha nivritti it also wants. Sukha prapti, dukha nivritti, every jiva will go through. For that Vedanta is not required. Vedanta is required for what? To make us aware that what is my true demand. From where will I get what do I truly seek? What I truly seek is param ananda prapti and atyantika dukha nivritti. So Paramananda Prapti means permanent happiness. Permanent happiness means what? We have no more desires. So why does a desire arise? Because of our vasanas, right? Why is vasana there? Because of desire and thought, vasana is there. Vasana is rising because of desire and thoughts, and desire and thoughts is because of vasana. ये क्या हो गया? So apurnata gives rise to vasana, to become purna. Each one as per their vasana will seek purnata in something or the other. That will give rise to ichha, that will give rise to vichar, that will give rise to karma. Now why do I feel apurna? Because of expectation. No?
I feel I am a body. That's why we have desires.
Perfect. So apurnata comes because I feel I am the body. This identification with the body, mind, intellect makes me feel apurna. Is there a time when you don't feel apurna?
Deep sleep.
Correct. So deep sleep we don't feel apurna. Why? Because we are not identified with the body, mind and intellect. So whenever I identify with the incomplete, I feel incomplete. Then vasana, then desire, then thought, action, result, all this will go on. Why do I identify with this? That I am this? Body, mind, intellect. Because of ignorance of the self. Because I don't know who I am. That's why Rajju Sarpavadatmanam Jivam Jnatva Bhayam Vahe. If I think of myself as Jiva, limited entity, then one is full of fear. And why is that Jiva Bhav is there? Because Ajnana Kalusham Jiva. Ignorance, I don't know who I am. And the strange part is, I don't know who I am, but my life is going on happily. क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Early morning, suppose sometimes, or anytime, why early morning? Anytime, suppose you wake up from a dream suddenly, shock, and you don't know who you are for a second. You just got up from the dream and where you are, who you are, you don't know. How do you feel? Do you feel very happy? Do you get up and say, chalo, we will eat something, drink something, maja aega? What do we like to feel first? Where am I? Who am I? What happened? We want to come back to our senses because suddenly I forgot now, who am I? But in the daily life, that is not happening. In fact, the Guru is telling, Gurudev kept on telling that, no, arey, wake up, think. Why? Because we are happy in our ignorance. Life is going on. In fact, if Vedant comes into our life, then life will become miserable. Bina Vedant Swamiji, before Vedant, I was so happy. I was partying, socializing. You know how many friends I had? So many people I had. Now my friend circle has become so small. And if I go and talk to them, they are saying, ye Gyani Baba aa gaye. Mahatma ji, aiye, padhariye. They are not talking to me normally also. And now I don't like some of their company also because they are talking anything. They are talking about jewelry and sari and something and some neighbor and some maid and some. My mind is not interested.
There are miseries also, Swamiji, not only happiness. There are miseries also.
Yeah, correct. So there are miseries also, na, in life. Vedant brought misery, na. That's what I am saying. वेदांत आया तो मिजरी हो गई लाइफ में. Happily I was living Ajnana Kalusham Jivam. You are saying in Atma Bodh. I was ignorance is bliss, Swamiji. I didn't know who I am. Happily I was living in this world, enjoying things, having family and living nicely. Suddenly, कहाँ से पता नहीं, I landed in Vedant. Now I know I am not this jiva. The happiness is not in the world outside. And my mind has changed completely. So my conversation has changed, my desires have changed, my company has changed now. And now if I do something wrong, then immediately my mind says, why did you do it? Earlier my mind did not know so much. So the mind says, it's okay. Maximum what will you do? Go to Gangaji, take a dubki and come out. You will be purified. And then again you start your account fresh. But now I came to Vedanta. Now I know कि ऐसा नहीं चलता है. So now my life has become more difficult. So someone feels like that ignorance was bliss. Now why should I? And now I can't go back also. You can't undo. Some people stop coming to Vedanta class because of that, because it is disturbing the fundamental thought process. બેસી જાઓ તમે, બધું પછી કરજો. So the fundamental thought process gets disturbed because the whole pursuit is I want to know who am I. Because now I understand in Vedanta ignorance is the root cause of my sorrow. And ignorance can go by what? Pakka. Ignorance goes by knowledge. सोच के बताओ. Ignorance goes by nishkam karma and bhakti. See? She said, and you are saying knowledge. Which one? Ignorance goes by knowledge of the self. Application of the knowledge.
Niskam karma, knowledge only will inspire niskam karma.
Atmagyan will inspire nishkam karma. So first I should get Atmagyan or Nishkam karma?
Niskam.
She is saying Nishkam karma, but you are saying Atmagyan.
It purifies the mind first.
So this ignorance goes by what? By knowledge of what? Knowledge of self. Knowledge of self will come in a Nishkam karma mind, or Nishkam karma will help me to attain knowledge of self.
Niskam karma will help.
How many say Nishkam karma will help to attain knowledge of the self? Half. How many say that knowledge of the self will lead to Nishkam karma? Both are same. Means and goal are same. मतलब रास्ता जो पुणे को जाता है और पुणे दोनों सेम है. You are on the way to Pune also is same as being in Pune.
But if you know that this is going to help you, then you will do Nishkam karma. So that purified mind will be able to grasp the knowledge.
So that by that definition, Nishkam karma is the means which leads to knowledge. But then both, all of you said both are same. The knowledge will lead to Nishkam karma.
Both are not same. Both cannot be same.
See, ignorance goes by only knowledge. Again, the example of Atma Bodh is there in that. What is the example there?
So, okay. Something about fire and food. I don't remember.
Pakasya vanyavad jnanam vina moksho na siddhyati. That is a different verse. The next verse after that is the verse which tells about knowledge. That ignorance, so darkness can be removed only by knowledge. Darkness can only be removed by light. Avirodhitaya karma na avidyam vinivartayet. What is that? Avirodhitaya karma na avidyam vinivartayet. Vidya avidyam nihanti eva tejas timira sanghavat. Vidya avidyam nihanti. Ignorance will be destroyed by knowledge. Like how? Darkness will be removed by light. Suppose in this Gurudev used to give this example in Atma Bodh when he gives the talk. He gives this nice example where he says that there was one queen and she was passing by in the forest, and she is going from one place to another place and she is passing by the forest and she has her ministers and everybody and they are going. She is in the chariot and suddenly she sees that there are some people on the mountain there and there is some sound coming from there. Like this, some sound is coming. So she says, find out what is happening there. So these ministers go and then they see there are some people inside that cave and they are doing this. So the queen says, what are they doing? She says, so the ministers, those people, they say that they are trying to empty the cave. So the queen got very curious. She said, okay, I want to see. So she goes up there. When she goes up, what does she find there? That each one of them is having one shovel and they are trying to empty the cave. So the queen says, what are you trying to empty? So all those people, they say, we are trying to empty the darkness from this cave. And from the last 1 month we are trying, this darkness is not getting over. We are just taking and throwing it out, taking and throwing it out. So the queen said, how will the darkness get out from here? You can't remove the darkness like that. What do you have to do to remove the darkness? Just light a lamp. So she orders and she says, you arrange for this oil, arrange for this wick and this and that, and then they bring a lamp. The moment they bring a lamp, what happens? All darkness gone. Thousands of years of darkness can go by what? Only the lamp. Any amount of action will remove darkness. Why? Avirodhitaya karma. Na avidyam vinivartayet. No matter how much karma one does, it will not destroy ignorance. Which means what? Should we stop doing all our karma? We can't stop doing karma. Then what do? Can we can't stop doing karma, and if we keep doing karma, it will create more vasana, it will create more bondage. So then what is the solution for that? Do the selfless karma. Nishkam karma has to be done. So priority in life can be only for these two things. First priority has to be that my purpose in life is Paramananda Prapti and Atyantika Dukkha Nivritti. How will I attain that? It cannot be produced by karma. Anything that is permanent, can it be produced by karma? If it's Paramananda, it is even right now. Only I don't know it. So ignorance is the cause. So ignorance has to be removed by knowledge. So first priority in life has to be for Brahma Vidya, Atma Jnana. That's the main priority. Whatever helps me to attain that Atma Jnana is the second priority. Meaning Nishkama Karma. Why? Because if Atma is my Swarup already, that's what Vedanta is saying, that Atma is your nature. Still I don't realize it. Why? Because there are 3 obstacles. What are the 3 obstacles to Atma Jnana? Very good. Body, mind, intellect. अच्छा, no. वो तो आत्मज्ञान के बाद भी बॉडी माइंड इंटेलेक्ट तो रहेगा ना. Ego. Impurity first. So what is the technical name for impurity? In Vedanta, what do you call impurity? Mala. Mala means impurity. So first obstacle is mala, impurity of the mind. That impurity of the mind will go by selfless action, Nishkama Karma. So Nishkam Karma purifies the mind. Purifies the mind means what? It will remove the impurity. How? Because all the 6 impurities are expressions of one. Kama only becomes Krodha. If you obstruct Kama, it will become Krodha and Matsarya. If you fulfill Kama, it will become Lobha, Moha and Mada. So if we change kama into nishkama, then mind will become purified. What is the sign of purity of mind? These 6 impurities don't bind a person. We are not victims of these 6. So first obstacle is mala. Without overcoming mala, the second obstacle we can't overcome. In the sense, what is the second obstacle? Vikshepa. Vikshepa means what?
Agitations of the mind.
Wandering of the mind, disturbances, agitations of the mind, where the mind is not single pointed. And why this is required? Both these, mala and vikshepa, they have to be removed. Vikshepa goes by what? Japa, meditation, upasana. So, upasana has to be done. There are different types of upasanas Upanishads give, but simplest upasana in today's context is what? Ishta Devatas upasana. So, Vedantic student must choose one Ishta Devata. That this is my favorite form of the Lord. Of so many forms, I can worship all of them at different occasions. That is becomes Naimittik Karma. Now Ganesh Chaturthi will come this week. So we worship Ganeshji. Sometime 2 weeks back it was Janmashtami. After that it will be Navratri. So we will worship different forms. But what is the main? Who is my Mishta Devata? That I have to worship daily. Do the japa of the mantra. Worship Bhagavan. Build a relationship with Bhagavan. That will make the mind single pointed. Both the qualities are very important. Mind must become purified, then mind must become single pointed. If either of these are not there, it is very difficult to destroy ignorance. Because I may listen to Vedant, but the readiness is not there. So one example given is, the lioness's milk will not stay properly except in a bowl of gold. In a golden bowl, the milk of lioness will be fine. Otherwise, if you take it out and keep, it will get spoiled in any other vessel. Vedanta is like that. It requires a pure and single pointed mind, and wherever we are, can we cultivate that or not?
Yes.
Do we have to leave everything to do Nishkama Karma? Do we have to stop every other sadhana to do Upasana? No. Wherever we are, in whichever situation, whatever roles we are playing, if I shift my action and make it, dedicate it to Bhagavan, obviously we are talking about dharmic things. Adharmic things I can't. That which is my duty, which is my dharma, that I dedicate to Bhagavan, Nishkama Karma. That will remove mala. And side by side I can do upasanas to make the mind quieter. If both these we start doing, then what will happen in a mind which is pure and single pointed, automatically one will be able to recognize that feeling of ignorance is there, I don't know who am I, Jnana will come to know who am I. Then one goes to the teacher, Guru. And the Guru, why does one go to? Because the third obstacle, what is the third obstacle? Avarana, is a veiling. So what does the word veiling indicate actually? Covering. So what is the implication of covering? Ignorance, okay. What else? Non-apprehension. There's something else, little more. Covering as a... So if this is covered, what does that mean?
There is something.
So there is something below it, but I don't know it right now. There is something below, but is it being created or it's already there? Avarana means only that. It is there and it is only covered. Sadhana will not produce Atma. Sadhana will only reveal the Atma. And Atma is my Swarup already. So, that's why the one who removes that ignorance is called as the Guru. Gu means Andhakara. Gukaro Andhakara Syat Rukaro Tannivarakaha. Who removes this ignorance is the Guru. So one has to go to the Guru, and who is supposed to be the Guru? The Guru is somebody who is Brahmanistha and Shrotriya, who has studied as well as who has experience of the truth. That person is competent to remove our ignorance. And when we listen to such a teacher, that is the Jnana sadhana. Ajnana kalusham jivam jnanabhyasa dvinirmalam. Jnana abhyas has to be done. And what is jnana abhyas? Listen, reflect and contemplate. In that, can I listen to anyone and do anything? I may read any book, I may listen to anybody, but if jnana has to happen, I must listen to a realized person. Because the words of that person have a different power behind them. And if my mind and intellect is ready, then those words will touch and transform my heart. And I will come to know the truth. So one goes to the Guru to listen. That is a Jnana sadhana. When listening, so can one realize the truth merely by listening? No?
No, only by listening.
Hmm.
No, we need Shravanam, Mananam and Nidishyasana.
Okay. How many say we cannot realize with only listening? With listening only I can't realize the truth. We need Shravanam के बाद मननम and निधिध्यासन. हाथ उठाओ. ऐसा मत रखो. आधा. Full. ऐसा. How many say we can realize only by listening? Now, I am not saying exception. I am asking you Siddhant. I did not say rule, exception, this, that. Don't say it depends on the student. Both answers are correct, you know. I am asking you Siddhant. By merely listening, can you realize the truth? Yes or no? How many say yes? Only one person. Give her one round of applause. Why? Because that is the truth. Merely by listening, Shravanam matrena jnanam bhavati. Just by listening, one will know the truth. If one has done the preparation. If the mind is pure, single pointed, ready, has surrendered to the Guru immediate. Does the Kathopanishad say that Nachiketa went back and then reflected, then did contemplation, then he realized the truth? Nachiketa realized then and there. Instant, immediate. Many of the sadhaks of the Upanishads are Uccha Koti, Uttam Adhikaris. The moment the teacher says, indicates the truth, job done. Swamiji, then why did they need that indication? Because the ego is subtle. And when this is pointed out, you are that, mind which is ready will wake up.
So, Swamiji, in any case, condition applied.
Which condition applies? Of course, condition applies for whom? For who is not prepared. Siddhanta is by listening alone you get the truth. But majority is not there, so conditions apply.
So many janma ka karma that person has that he realized the truth and he listening.
So many janma ka punya karma is there is what you are saying. Correct. So that sadhana one has done. I am not saying purification of the mind is not required. My question was, manan and nididhyasana is required for realization or not? That was the question. Of course, we spoke about nishkama karma, purify the mind, unify the mind, all that. No, Oto, that is the whole process. Why does it take time to realize the truth? Time is taken for preparation. Realization of the truth doesn't take time. Gurudev always used to give that example. How long does it take to sleep? Preparation only takes time. You make the bed, you change the bed, then you change the curtain, then you make the switch off the light, put on the good night, put on the AC, फिर उसको right temperature में करो. Everything.
Sleep there and there only.
Then when exactly, so when you are tired, you just crash. अबे क्या bed क्या कुछ नहीं, gone straight away. We don't even need to lie down. People are there in the local train, they're standing and sleeping also. Because that much exhaustion is there. So when the jiva has got exhausted, saying, "Itna karma kar liya bhai, life after life I am doing. How much karma I will keep? I am exhausted. Just atma mein shanti प्राप्त करना है, बस." Then that jiva will attain. Realization doesn't take time. This extrovertedness of the mind which is there to make that mind turn within, that whole effort is only for that much. And Gurudev created this platform for that, to do Nishkam Seva, so that we prepare ourselves. Otherwise he could have just been giving lectures. अब जिसको चाहिए वो करो. Tapon Maharaj did that only. Whoever is ready will get it. Whoever is not will go find their means of liberation. He was giving only knowledge. He didn't create a platform for doing Nishkam Karma, learning Upasana, all that, nothing. He said whoever is ready will get it. Rest of it, their preparation, they have to prepare and come. He may guide them, do this, do this, do this, but beyond that, nothing. But Gurudev created. Why? Because he knows that we all need that Nishkama Karma. Now when we purify the mind and unify the mind, tradition says then you go to the teacher, then cultivate fourfold qualification, surrender to the teacher, then listen to the teacher. What should I listen to from the teacher for getting Atma Gyan? There is something specific I have to listen to. Then only Atma Gyan will happen. So what is the meaning of that? Brahma Vidya. Correct. So Brahma Vidya has many things. In that specifically, what?
We learned in the beginning of when we started our journey of spirituality that we should have an idol, and then we have to relate to it, and then gradually, we start loving then we can grow.
That is the Upasana, no? वो तो उपासना है. So make the mind, that's what we discussed as Ishta Devata.
Yes.
And we continue to do that. Even after meeting the Guru and having Satsang of Vedant, one continues the Upasana. Now we have come to that point where we are talking about Upasana, talking about Shravanam. So we have to listen to the teacher. And importance of the teacher also we understood. Only a candle which is lit can light another one. Same way one who is realized can make us aware. But there is something specific that I have to listen to from the teacher. Then this Atma Gyan happens. What is that I am asking? One or two of you have answered already, but I want you all to think. What is it that we have to listen to from the teacher? Which if I don't listen to, I may go to the teacher, but Atma Gyan will not happen.
Having knowledge of the self.
Having faith is a prerequisite to listen. No? What do I have to listen? Mahavakya. That is important. Acharya Mukhar Shravanam Kuryat. Listen to the Mahavakya from the teacher. How many Mahavakyas are there? Many Mahavakyas are there. 4 are major, important ones. Every Upanishad will have one Mahavakya. One can't say that 4 Mahavakyas are there. In general, if we say, okay, 4, but actually, technically, if you see, every Upanishad will have at least one Mahavakya, because that's the purpose of the Upanishad, to reveal the identity. So, what is the meaning of a Mahavakya?
The relation between the self and the
Seeker.
self.
Self and the self.
Self and the seeker.
That we are the self. It points that we are the self.
We are the self. A
No.
statement which connects the seeker to the self.
I am the
Statement which connects the seeker to the self.
I am the self.
I am
It
the
points
self.
that
Aham Brahma.
Correct. So, Ham Brahmasmi is a Mahavakya, no doubt. And no doubt the statement points out to the nature of my true nature as the self. But Mahavakya has one specific connotation. Short statement indicating the truth. Again, that by general definition it is correct, but it will.
It comes repeatedly.
It
No.
is Mahavakya, you are that, you understand that.
So, what is the meaning of that?
Tattvamasi.
अरे that का मतलब क्या है?
You are the self.
You are the self.
That Jiva Brahma.
I am Brahma.
Jiva Brahma.
Brahman. Mahavakya means Jiva Brahma Aikya. The statement that indicates that Jiva is Brahman. Remember, we started by saying Jiva feels incomplete. Now that Mahavakya will say what? Arey, you are not this. You are that. When you say Tat Tvam Asi, that Tat indicates Brahman. And Brahman is the biggest. Brihatvat Brahman. There is nothing bigger than that. That means Brahman is infinite. That statement which indicates the identity of the individual self with the infinite consciousness, that you are not this small little Atma. Because some people will confuse like that. Atma is inside me. And there are some philosophies which will tell you that also. Size of the Atma depends on the size of the body. Ant की आत्मा छोटी है, हाथी की आत्मा बहुत बड़ी है. And human beings की आत्मा बीच में है. So somebody may get confused the moment they say Atma. Then, because the word Atma, if you see, has so many meanings. Literally the word Atma means what? No. Atma word meaning I am asking. Atma in its nature is Brahman. That is Mahavakya telling us. Atma word means what?
Definition.
Not technical definition. I am just asking word meaning. Soul नहीं बाबा. अरे हमिंग हो रहा है भाई, थोड़ा वॉल्यूम कम करो. सोल तो बहुत कुछ. अब सोलमेट फलाना ढिकना सब शुरू हो जाएगा उसके बाद. तो आत्मा वर्ड का मीनिंग क्या है? एक्चुअली द मीनिंग substratum. Substratum? No.
Is it the ultimate truth?
No. Energy? अरे एनर्जी तो चेंज होती है. काइनेटिक एनर्जी, पोटेंशियल एनर्जी, लाइफ, सचित, कॉन्शियसनेस. नो. आत्मा वर्ड मीन्स आई. Atma means I. Aham. Atma only means aham actually. But we have confused that aham to be this. So body or jiva. So Vedanta says, Arey, you are not this. You are that Brahman. Infinite consciousness. Still it is. So this Atma is, the word Atma means I. That I we have confused to be this small individuality. So Vedanta says, no, Tat Tvam Asi. You are not this small I. You are that infinite consciousness. And so there are all the statements which indicate this. Why this is happening suddenly? Hari Om. दूसरे इसमें डाल रहे हो, निकालो उसमें से, दूसरे में डालो. Whenever this happens, this means my satsang is successful. 24 साल मुझे हो गए यहाँ पर. आज तक एक मीटिंग नहीं हुआ, सत्संग नहीं हुआ जहाँ पर हमिंग नहीं होता है.
So everybody is echoing what you are saying, the truth.
Very good. So Brahman is me. That listening has to happen from the teacher. Then instant is realization. Nidishyasana, Manan not required. Why? If the purity of mind is so much, single pointedness is so much, immediate sakshatkar is instant. As the Guru says, immediate. Faster than Maggie also. Maggie takes how much?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Too much that is. When they asked, Ramana Maharshi, how much time does it take to realize the truth? He says, not even time taken to blink your eye. Not even that much time. And then we say, Re, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyati. After many lives, and then he's saying, not even a blink of eye. All that time required is for what? Preparation. So the point is, Shravanam has to be done. Teacher will give Mahavakya, and 4 major Mahavakyas are there. What are those 4? First you tell me Rigved ka Mahavakya. Prajnanam Brahma is a mantra from Rigveda, Aitareya Upanishad. Very good. Prajnanam Brahma means consciousness is Brahman. Second, from Yajurveda. No, okay, forget Yajurveda for now. First tell me Samaveda ka mantra Mahavakya bata. Samaveda is Tat Tvam Asi. That thou art. Which Upanishad? Chandogya Upanishad. Then you tell me now this Yajurveda ka Mahavakya. Aham Brahmasmi is Yajurveda mantra. From which Upanishad?
This is a fluke, just.
But it is not from Mandukya. It is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. And then 4th Mahavakya, bacha kaun sa abhi? Atharva Veda ka bacha. Atharva Veda is Ayam Atma Brahma. From which Upanishad? पक्का कि हवा में मार रहे हैं मांडुक्य उपनिषद देखो वेदांत स्टूडेंट्स हैं 4 महावाक्य वी शुड रिमेंबर फ्रॉम विच उपनिषद एंड विच वेद एटलीस्ट दैट मच वी शुड नो बिकॉज दिस आर द मीन्स ऑफ रियलाइजेशन ऑफ द ट्रूथ एंड गुरुदेव यूज्ड टू गिव अ स्टोरी दिस student goes to the teacher to know the truth. And the teacher would say, Prajnanam Brahma. Consciousness is Brahman. So the teacher thinks, Acha hoga koi consciousness which is Brahman. Then the teacher says, Are Tattvamasi, you are that. I am that. Acha. So then the teacher, student goes. Because he has to do Mananam reflection now. And Nidishyasana. So he goes and then he meditates and then he understands, oh, I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is that Brahman. Then the student comes back and tells the teacher, Aham Brahmasmi. See, please remember, every Mahavakya by itself is capable of making us realize the truth. This order is only as a memory aid. Gurudev has created the story. Otherwise, one Mahavakya is enough to know the truth. So, we have to listen to the Mahavakya. I am going to give you this at the end of this class. You have to solve that. That is the puzzle I brought for all of you. So, this Prajnanam Brahma is called Lakshana Vakya. Mahavakya, but in 4 Mahavakyas, each Vakya has one. So, Prajnanam Brahma, Lakshana Vakya. Tattvamasi, Upadesha Vakya. Ayamatma Brahma, Anusandhan Vakya. Aham Brahmasmi, Anubhava Vakya. Remember, okay? Which Veda, what Mahavakya, which Upanishad, what type of Vakya. Remember all this. स्वामी जी हम तो निधिध्यासन के लिए आए थे. Expect the unexpected always. If I don't remember this, निधिध्यासन कहाँ से करूँगा मैं? निधिध्यासन के लिए I should remember Vedant sutras, Vedant verses, Mahavakyas, all that. If I don't remember, I can't do Nidishyasana. And why Nidishyasana is even required is only because the mind is not yet ready. So listening, and that's why listening is the most important sadhana. Every other sadhana is a means for listening. That's the purpose why I am coming to this, so much of introduction. Because we take listening for granted. While listening to Vedant, nowadays तो Zoom class होता है, तो वेदांत क्लास चल रहा है और खाना पका रहा है, कुकिंग चल रहा है, घंटे बज रही है, कपड़े फोल्ड कर रहे हैं. हाँ, वेदांत सुन रहे हैं क्या? You are Brahman. Okay, yes, I am Brahman. Then how I am Brahman? 1, 2, 3, 4. हाँ, 1, 2 understood. Third, in the folding of the clothes, I forgot the logic. अब वेदांत का श्रवण ऐसे नहीं होता है. Upasana itself we don't do like this. What does Vedanta tell us? I mean, our Adhyatma Shastra, what does it tell us? When you do Om Namah Shivaya Japa, where should the mind be? Fully, where you are, na? With the mala you chant, with the bhavana, with the eyes closed, you are visualizing the form. Does Vedanta say that you sit and do japa, like how many times people do Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya? अरे कोई आया है, घंटी बज रही है, दरवाजा खोलो, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. अरे चिंटू तुम्हारी स्कूल बस आई है, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. We do like that? Upasana itself we are not supposed to do like that. ये मन श्रवणम कैसे हम ऐसे कर रहे हैं? You know, Janak Maharaj is the example for Shravanam. That story, Ashtavakra Muni is sitting there and waiting for Janak Maharaj to come. All the sannyasis are sitting there and waiting for him to start, but he is not starting. Why? Janak Maharaj has to come. Now the sannyasis, they thought, see how power can corrupt. That is a king, you know, he is a king, he is a bhogi, and he is there living in the kingdom. We have left everything and we are living in this forest, and this guru is giving importance to that king more than us. Kali Yuga aa gaya. This is so terrible. Power is given more prominence. They who have more wealth are given always man, and we are waiting for them. Then Janak Maharaj finally came and he started listening. The satsang started. In between the satsang, suddenly some people ran and came. They said, Mithila and all the other nearby forests and everything has caught fire. The moment they heard that, what did these sannyasis do? They ran. When they went to the kutia, what did they find? There was no fire, nothing was there. Then they came back ashamed. Janak Maharaj was sitting there full time. He didn't get disturbed. Was it an indifference in his mind? No. He knows that if the city is on fire, there are officials who will take care of it and people are there who will manage it. I will finish this satsang, then I will go. And there these people ran for what? Protecting some 2 pairs of clothes that they must be having. So the point is, he listens like that. Full attention. Tapon Maharaj used to expect that type of listening. One day he started the class and one crow made a sound and one student looked up. Tapon Maharaj said, I can't teach such inalert students. Imagine if you and I have to learn under Tapon Maharaj. Will we survive? Gurudev, how did he learn? Tapon Maharaj gave the condition, no? That I will teach only once and I will not repeat. And if I ask you, you should be able to answer. If you can't answer, you have to go back. You and I would have said, I am going now only. That is the expected quality of Shravana. See why this is important. If the expected quality of Shravanam we can't have, Mananam we can't have, then how will I do Nididhyasana? So just like the purity of mind is a preparation, Nishkam karma should be done for it. This Upasana is a preparation, Japa etc. we do and develop single pointedness. Then we go to the Guru, then we listen. And when we listen, everything else is secondary. Sunahu tat man mati chit lai. Listen with Your mind, intellect, everything, emotions in one place. That is called ekagra chitta, listening with single pointed devotion and attention. Nothing, at that point in time, nothing is important. Some work, some appointment, meeting somebody, talking to somebody, buying something, everything can wait. But this is important because this is the cure for the disease of samsara. When I listen like that, then I will come to the next step where there will be doubts. If I am not ready, or even if I am ready, I have some purity of mind, but suddenly to realize that I am not this jiva, there will be doubts. How can I not be this jiva? How can I not be this body? How can the world be not real? It is so evident, perceptible, that doubts will go. So Shravanam, the definition of Shravanam is Tatparya Avadharanam. To determine the essence is called Shravanam. When I listen to any lecture, what is the essence? Or read a book, what is the essence? I see a movie, what is the essence? Then I have done Shravanam properly. After studying the entire Mahabharata or Ramayana, so suppose I ask you, what is the essence of the Bhagavad Gita? What will you say?
My dharma. What is my dharma?
What is my dharma? Very good. What does that mean?
Doing our duty.
Doing our duty. For that, but did Bhagavan need to give Bhagavad Gita? He could have given a pep talk, no, to Arjun. Come on, Arjun, you can do it. You have it in you. You have already done duty so many times. You have already defeated Kauravas before. Come on, you can do. Bhagavan did not have given the whole 18 chapters of the Gita for that.
Clarity of flow. What
Swadharma.
Swadharma is also Kshatriya temperament, no?
When essence of Bhagavad Gita, start looking at everybody as your Brahma. That your Atma is there, that everyone has the Atma. See with that
Vision of oneness.
vision of us.
So I realize my true nature is. So Mama Dharma, when she said, my Swarup Dharma is the ultimate purpose of Gita. Then of course my Swadharma, and then what is not my Swadharma. So what is Paradharma? Arjun wanted to run away to the forest. That is Paradharma. So in two words, when we say Mama Dharma, it is to know all the three. What is my Swarup Dharma, what is my Swadharma, and what is not my Swadharma, which is Paradharma. That is the essence. So after listening to entire Gita, if I am able to understand that Gita is a Moksha Shastra, it is not only a Dharma Shastra, then I have heard the Gita properly. If at the end of it I still feel, like some people feel, no, don't read the Gita. Why? Because it will make you fight. Because Arjun was, before the Gita he didn't want to fight. After the Gita he started fighting. That means Gita is a war-mongering scripture. There are enough people who talk like that today also. So then I have not done Shravanam properly. So Shravanam means Tatparya Avadharana. Then Mananam has to happen. Mananam means reflection. Man, Manute means to think. So I have to reflect. How do I reflect? Using scriptural logic. Yuktibihi Anuchintanam is called Mananam. Again and again I have to reflect and clear all my doubts. The study group and Devi group is meant for Mananam, to reflect, to think, to question, to clear the doubts. We should ensure that study group remains Manan sadhana and doesn't become Shravan sadhana. Otherwise, one person will talk, everybody will listen. Very easy it is. Because they will only listen, and sometimes you don't even know whether they are listening actually. That's why one has to keep asking questions, make them think, confuse them. Ask questions in such a way that they feel, Arey kya hai? If like, you give exams also to them and give such confusing options to them कि वो पता नहीं, they will rack their brain, क्या है इसमें answer. They will all sound similar, but there will be little difference in each. Some of you have taken my courses, you know very well. One has to do like that. Mananam has to happen. Then what happens? Mananam is churning. So when you churn, suppose you want to make buttermilk. When you churn, what happens? Whatever is down will start coming up. how much wrong notions are there, false ideas are there, misconceptions are there, they will all come up in churning. Like we did the simple question answer right now. Can Shravanam alone lead to knowledge? Majority of you said no. Now that's a wrong notion. Shravanam alone will actually lead to knowledge. And do you know why that Siddhanta is important? Because every time I listen to Vedanta, I should listen with the attitude that today I can realize the truth by listening. And do you know that is what will happen? At any point in time, one will realize the truth by listening only. All knowledge arises by listening. There is no knowledge that doesn't arise by listening. No, Swamiji, by reading. To read, somebody has spoken the word and taught you, no? Then only you know how to pronounce it and read. That has come by listening only. So one will get, so that's why listening is the most important sadhana. Then comes mananam, reflection, using logic. And which logic? Scriptural logic, not a logic of anybody. Because logic you can use to prove anything. Logically many things can be done. Simple example is what? Professor loves his daughter, I love the professor, so I love that professor's daughter. Logic, na? A is equal to B is equal to C, so A is equal to C. Ho gaya logic. Logic can be used to prove anything, disprove anything. Logic is a double-edged sword. But it is necessary for intellectual conviction. So, Shrutibihi, Shrutimatas Tarkonusandhiyata. Go by the scriptural logic. Why does the Vedantic scripture say, I am not the body, mind, intellect? Can you tell me one logic for it? Scriptural logic for it.
Because I can see my body, I can hear, I can feel my thoughts.
So that logic is called Drig, Drishya, Vivek. The seer is different from the seen. I have mixed up the seer to be the seen. And who is the real seer, I don't know. So Vedanta says separate. Who is the seer and who is the seen? Drig, Drishya, Vivek. Like that, any other one more example. बहुत सारे लॉजिक हैं एक्चुअली.
Body changes, mind, thoughts change.
It's the same thing, ना, seer and seen. वो same है, changing and changeless is seer and seen.
Looking and learning that smell something. Yes, temporary body and deep sleep.
हाँ, so that is called what? Avasthatraya Vivek. Waker, dreamer and deep sleeper. So the waking entity is different, dream entity is different, deep sleep entity is different. The entity who is with waker is in Vedanta called as what? Sevikas don't answer. Students have to answer. Entity. Huh? Entity who is waker is called Prajna. Jagrat Avastha. Consciousness identified with the Jagrat Avastha is called what? Sthul body is the body which you experience predominantly in the waking state. Consciousness identified with the sthul sharira is called something. Vishwa. Vishwa. Consciousness identified with. So all of you are right now Vishwa? No, Swamiji, I am Prajna. Deep sleep state I am in. Consciousness identified with the dream state is called what? Tejas. Very good. And consciousness identified with deep sleep is Prajna. Now each of these Vishwa, Tejas, Prajna is different from the other. Yet there has to be something common, no? Which is the common factor because of which I can remember my dream and the absence of dream also in deep sleep when I wake up. If the same entity is not there, if the common entity is not there in all the three, I won't realize. I won't remember the dream, I can't recollect deep sleep also. So that is called Avasthatraya Vivek. That there is one common entity in all the three and you are that even when body, mind, intellect is not there, you are still there in deep sleep. That means you are different from BMI. Like that Panchakosha Vivek it will do. Avasthatraya Vivek, it will do, three gunas, so many different methods of understanding this. This will happen through mananam. When one gets, how does one know that from mananam, my mananam is over? Shravanam is tatparya avadharanam. Mananam is yuktibhi anuchintanam. The result of mananam is firm intellectual conviction that I am Brahman alone. I am not the jiva. Intellectual conviction, firmly. See, today firmly we may feel in the class, yes, I am Brahman. But outside the class, intellectual conviction also is what? वो ब्रह्मा ठीक है वेदांत क्लास में, अभी भी practical. This world is real, I am the jiva, I have to transact here. So the conviction somewhere is still not full. If intellectual conviction is complete, I am Brahman, then Nididhyasana will automatically start happening. How do I know I am intellectually convinced I am Brahman? The importance I give to ego will reduce completely. I send one WhatsApp message, the person has seen but yet not replied. Do I feel hurt? If I feel hurt, that means I am still jiva. If I feel ki theek hai, maybe the person is busy, will reply in time. I did my duty, this is only a role, I am not this truth. I am not this role, I am the truth. That clarity one has, and one operates out of that clarity. In my day-to-day life, when I am living, I play these roles to perfection, but I know this is only a role, I am not this. That is called intellectual conviction has come. Amitabh Bachchan plays a role of a beggar. He will convince you that he is a beggar or not. But is he really a beggar? If he operates from that thought process that I have actually become beggar, and after the shot is also over, he says, Bhagwan ke naam pe thoda paisa de de Baba, and he goes to the light boy, spot boy. We are doing that. Swamiji, I am intellectually convinced, but if you are intellectually convinced, then we should play all the roles with complete detachment, because they are not me. That is purpose of intellectual conviction. And we can start with at least one role, if not all. Choose any one role where you have the least attachment, and see if you can play that role with the full detachment that this is only a role, this is not the truth. Reality is I am Brahman, this is the role. If one can do that in the role where I am least attached, slowly one will grow in that conviction. One can apply in all roles. Then one is ready for Nididhyasana. And what is Nididhyasana? Advitiya vastuni sajatiya pratyaya pravaha. Same type of thoughts move towards Brahman. Meaning mind is not wandering here and there. We don't say Shivoham and mind doesn't go to Shivsagar restaurant and Pav Bhaji and Faluda and this and that. Sajatiya pratyaya pravaha. Same train of thoughts. Towards what? Advitiya vastuni. Towards Brahman. Why is Nididhyasana even required? Because even after having intellectual conviction and playing the roles, somewhere I have to detach again I get attached, again detached. So there is some Viparit Bhavana we call. Viparit Bhavana means contrary feeling. That contrary feeling that I am still a jiva, that will go only by Nididhyasana. But please remember, this entire thing is a preparation for Nididhyasana. If Shravanam doesn't happen properly, Mananam doesn't happen properly, I don't play the roles in the world with detachment, then when I sit to do Nididhyasana, what will happen? Either the one person will sleep, or the mind will wander, some memories will come, disturb the person, or that thought Aham Brahmasmi, I am not able to hold on to that, or it just becomes a mantra. So then one does Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Then it will become a means of single pointedness, but Nididhyasana is not happening. So what has to happen in Nididhyasana? Viparita Bhavana has to be destroyed. And so 2 steps in Nididhyasana are what? Detach from who I am not and attach to the true. truth, who I am. For that, what do we use? You can use any language. Important is not the word, important is the feeling. This Nididhyasana will give rise to Brahma Bhavana, and that Bhavana will destroy Jiva Bhavana. So, Nididhyasana is the most powerful exercise. Gurudev always said meditation is the highest vocation in life. Most powerful is this because it will destroy the Jiva Bhav completely. By now, the Jiva Bhav has become very thin with all this Nishkam Karma Yoga, Upasana, surrender to the Guru, Shravanam, Mananam. So it is going like a pyramid. It has become smaller, 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 smaller. Nididhyasana, you can blast it. Ego is gone. So passages like Nirvana Shatkam, Mano Buddhi Hankara Chittani Naham Nacha Shrotra Jivve Nacha Ghrana Netre Nacha Vyoma Bhumir Na Tejo Na Vayuhu. These are three lines of negation. One line of assertion, Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. Now when one is saying, what is one supposed to do in Nididhyasana? When one has made the mind quiet, one does some breath observation, then some japa, and makes the mind quiet, and then do the Nididhyasana. With that quiet mind, send these words in. Just chant these words and lift the mind to the state that it indicates. That Atma is here in my heart. Aham, I am that truth. Aham, 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 we feel all the time. That is Shiva. Chidananda Rupa, Shivoham, Shivoham. At that time, the mind should not think of somebody called Chidananda or form of Shivji. Then Nididhyasana is not happening. What does Chidananda Rupa indicate? It indicates the Atma. It indicates the Pratyaksha Bhavana we have here right now in our heart. Everyone feels I am. To abide in that I am and not add any other adjectives, that is Nididhyasana. And that has to be done with single pointedness, and that's why it is called Dhyai. Dhyai means to pay attention. Being fully here and now, not in the past, not in the future. Focusing on here and now, aham, aham, aham. And any other thoughts which arise about the BMI, one says, I am not this. So detached from that. You can use other passages also. There are certain passages which are full of negation only. Atmabodh says, Nirguno, Nishkriyo, Nityo, Nirvikalpo, Niranjanaha, Nirvikaro, Nirakaro, Nitya Muktosmi, Nirmalaha. This is full negation only. Nirguna, I am Nirguna. Nishkriya, no action. Nitya, I am eternal. Nirvikara, I am without any modifications. Nirakara, I don't have any form. Now when we say this, we have to feel this. Our identification with the form is so strong, so when we do Nididhyasana, we say, I am Nirakara. So I am Nirakara means I am not this, I am that truth which pervades everywhere. Now what is that truth which pervades everywhere? Right here in my heart as Aham. So one holds on to that bhav of Aham, I am. And that I am is infinite. There is no boundary in that. We add boundaries because of BMI. I am tall, I am dark, I am handsome, I am young, I am man, I am woman. All those man, woman, young, dark, handsome, all is what? Body's adjectives. I am not this, just I am. That is called Nididhyasana. So using any language you can do this. In Sanskrit we have so many passages. Brahma Jnanavali, meditation verses from Vivek Chudamani, Nirvana Shatkam, Swarupanusandhanam, Upanishad mantras, Hastamalaka Stotram, so many. Any of these can be used, and in a quiet mind repeat those words and lift the attention to that state of consciousness. And destroy all the wrong notions associated with the BMI. I am not this. So Gurudev always used to say this. Head and the heart, the head and the heart, we have to combine. That will give rise to intuitive faculty. Through that intuition we will realize the truth. And this Nididhyasana will bring that. If my intellect and my mind, they both come together, the bhavana will arise. that I am Brahman, that bhavana will destroy Jiva Bhav. Nididhyasana will lead that person to samadhi. One will be absorbed in that thought. It will destroy, and repeated practice of samadhi will destroy lot of dehatma bhav and finally make that person get nishtha, atma nishtha one will attain. So nididhyasana is actually that, to detach from who I am not, attach to who I am, one. Two, it will generate more and more Brahma Vasana, which will destroy Jiva Vasanas. It will destroy Dehatma Bhav, Viparita Bhavana, and it will help to unveil the truth. That Avarana goes by Nididhyasana. In the purified mind, that Avarana goes straight away by listening itself. But in the mind which is not yet ready, then we need Shravanam, then Mananam, Nididhyasana. Then the veil is removed, and what is the truth reveals itself. And the truth is self-shining. It doesn't need any other support. So this is what Nididhyasana is. And so in the Vivek Chudamani, it comes very beautifully. If you listen, I don't remember the exact verse, but the essence of it I will just tell you. If you listen for 1 unit, you write for 2 units. If you write for 2 units, you reflect for 10 units. If you reflect for 10 units, you contemplate, do Nididhyasana for 100 units. And if you contemplate for 100 units, you practice samadhi for infinite units. Anantam nirvikalpakam, that much I remember. Meaning maximum effort is required to stay in that quiet state of samadhi. Samadhi means what? Not some weird state of trance. Samadhi means where the dhi has become absorbed, has become sama. Pairs of opposites, one has dropped, the buddhi has dropped, has lost all identification in that Brahman which is sama. So the mind is fully absorbed in that, surrendered, gone completely, only Brahman exists. That state, the more and more one practices that, sometimes the past karmas and vasanas will push that person out of samadhi. Again the person puts the effort, goes into that state. This repeated practice of samadhi will lead to realization. Now just think how much is the glory of that mind which has prepared itself, that by listening itself it immediately realizes the truth. Where we may require samadhi abhyas for a long time, then the Dehatma Bhav will completely get dissolved. So this is the Prakriya in Vedanta, and all this is only unveiling layer by layer what is the untruth. It is not producing the truth. First impurities are removed, then wandering is removed, then the ignorance is removed, then false notions are removed, then Viparit Bhavana is removed, then final Avarana gone. One realizes the truth. So this much is about Nididhyasana. Anything you want to ask, share, welcome.
Swamiji, just a thought came to mind. How does one explain Valmikiji's realization?
So Valmikiji's realization, so first of all, he got the Satsang of Naradji. Naradji made him realize that he is responsible for his karmas. Nobody else will be with him to realize, to exhaust those karmas. See, the wife and children there, they said, we will not share your negative karma which you have gained by. But tell me, by saying that, do they escape that? Even if they say it, they can't escape because they have been beneficiaries of that karma, so that karma phala will come to them. But in that context there, they said, no, we will not share. That gave him a wake-up call. So he comes to Naradji and he says, I sincerely want to change. He doesn't tell Naradji that, whatever Papa Karma I have done, let us have some understanding that I will give 30% of my loot to you for your ashram as CSR. He didn't say that. Government regulation is only 2%, I will give you 30%. Because that made him understand that the negative karma, I only have to deal with the effects of it. So that was a big wake up call. He said, I need your guidance, you please help me. So first is the realization that my karmas I have to deal with and I don't want to deal with the negative. Second, Naradji gives him mantra. So that is mantra upadesh he gives. When mantra upadesh he gives, the violent tendencies of Ratnakar are so much that he is not able to chant Ram. Then Naradji blesses him saying, doesn't matter, chant Mara. Now that is the power of Naradji's Satsang and his Guru, the power of him as a Guru. Because if the Guru gives a mantra, depending on the student's level of evolution, that Guru who is a Siddha Guru, that student's transformation will happen. Mara is not a mantra at all. But power behind Naradji sadhana and his Guru Shakti is such that he says, you chant Mara, you will realize. And then he starts doing his sadhana. It is not going to be easy at all. Violent tendencies one who has had, mind will be so extroverted, violent, how will that person sit for a long time to do upasana also? But the power of that wake up call he had was so much, he decided, no, this I need to give up the wrong way. Once and for all, give it up. So he is able to sit. Of course, in his sadhana, he would have had moments where he would have not been able to sit, he would have got up, he would have got, disturbed, etc. And then he would have again come back and sat. All that would have happened. Finally, his mind becomes single pointed. Just doing Mara, 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 that shift happens from Mara to Ram. And not knowing Ramji also, who is Ram, what are his qualities, what is his form, what has he done, nothing he knows. He has full Shraddha in Naradji. So his transformation is a proof of the Shakti of the Guru, the power of the mantra and the initiation given by the Guru, and the Shraddha of the disciple. Surrendered. If Naradji said this will lead me to the truth, it will lead me to the truth. Full stop. No intellectualization, questioning, doubting, kuch nahi. Straight. So he sat down, kept doing the japa, and what happened to him? Full anthill has been built on him. That much level of stillness he has attained that ants have built a hill on him. Now he transformed from Ratnakar to Valmiki. After that, when Naradji comes back, then he asks Naradji that who is there in this world who is Dhairyavan, Gunavan, Viryavan, all that, in Valmiki Ramayana in the beginning, he asked that question. Then Naradji said there is only one person and that is Ram, who has all these qualities. And first 100 verses of that Valmiki Ramayana, in the first chapter, in 100 verses he narrates the whole Ramayana to Valmiki. Valmiki comes to know about Bhagwan Ram for the first time only then. But he is realized just by chanting Valmiki Bhaya Brahma Samana, Tulsidaji says, Ulta Nama Japata. Chanting the name of the Lord Ulta also he became Brahma Samana. So that Valmiki's transformation is a proof of this Shraddha as well as the Shakti of the Guru, the power of the mantra that Guru has given, and it realized. And the power of the name of Bhagwan also it proves. Because when the name is chanted, the name will draw the Naam will draw the Nami. That's what happens, no? When you go to the airport, you don't know somebody. So the driver, suppose is there, he will take your name and he will come. You don't know the driver doesn't know you. Then seeing your name, you will go to that person. Same way, when a Jiva chants Ram, 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 he chanted Mara, 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 then it became Ram. Then he realized he became Valmiki, and then Bhagwan Ram comes to him also. He comes to his ashram, stays with him, asks him, where should I build the house in the forest? And Valmiki ji guides him. So that's his transformation.
What happens to his past karmas?
So, in his case, as I said, while he is doing japa, etc., definitely those negative tendencies will manifest. And he definitely would have gone through some part of it through some sickness, physical suffering, all that also would have happened. That elaborate description is not available for it, but certain papa karmas one has to exhaust, it will not go. Certain will go by the power of Bhagwan's name. And intense sadhana when one has done, if the jiva bhav drops, finally all papa karma is burnt by that. Sanchit karma is burnt away by the knowledge of the truth. Then that is burnt fully. And also whatever prarabdha is there, so he continued to be there, no? And then he had the ashram, and then Love and Kush were trained by him. So all that's a part of prarabdha. That he has to go through.